It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
How many more wars will have to be fought? How many more earthquakes or tornadoes and floods will have to come before you make your decision?
That I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
My name is Peter Weyland. And if you'll indulge me, I'd like to change the world.
Commercial television, as it was known in the 1980s and 90s, disappeared with the application of superconductive transmission technology to the then existent cable television systems. With systems offering 500, then 1,000, and eventually 5,000 channels, it became economically infeasible for advertisers to support mainstream dramatic programming. Soon, instead of hundreds of thousands of viewers, audiences' shares were calculated in the tens. With the dissolution of the FCC, cable access was open to all persuasions. In a resurgence similar to that seen in the mid-1980s, religious programming became a television staple, outnumbering non-doctrinal programs nearly 100 to 1. With so many programs to choose from, viewer perceptions changed. Much as the fast-cut visual styles of the 90s were defined by 5, then 10-second commercials, the style of the mid-century programming was changed with the introduction of the retinal switch, or eye box. The eye box was designed to detect minute changes in the capillaries of the retina, initiating random channel changes based on involuntary blood pressure fluctuations. To hold audiences, programmers were forced to devise new styles of programming that would not trip the eyebox watcher. Such technology gave way to the rise of Salvaje, an independently wealthy preacher who used his millions to reach his followers, to whom he referred to as the Great Unwashed, with his message via the eyebox. With the monstrous image of the Xenomorph drawing in wider viewers and further followers, Salvaje broadcast his sermons. I know that which you lack. I know of your incompleteness. I have the answer. The true Messiah can make you into a holy receptacle, for it is in bearing the sons and daughters of the Messiah that you will find your salvation. Listen and know that I speak only the truth. False prophets and false gods have brought our world to the brink of ruination. False gods ask that you worship them from afar, but they remain cold and aloof and sterile. The true Messiah will join with you. You can feel the true Messiah, touch the true Messiah, become one with the true Messiah. Do not allow yourselves to be misled any longer, my brothers and sisters. Throw off the chains and shackles of your oppression. Get rid of the old and make room in yourself for the new. The true Messiah is coming, brothers and sisters. Soon the communion will be possible, and only those who open themselves to the ultimate experience will survive the coming devastation that man has brought upon himself. Prepare yourselves for the coming. Listen for the call in your dreams. Listen and heed. Salvaje, though well-financed, required assistance on the tech side of the broadcasts. He paid for the services of a technician, Pindar, later detained by the government, declared as a terrorist, and interrogated for information regarding an attack on bionational industries. Dr. Arona, in his investigation, was briefed by TIA agent Grona with accompanying security footage and recordings of Pindar's interrogation. He revealed the inner workings of the congregation, the constant threats on Salvaje's part, and his own initial belief that the hologram of this supposed Messiah was somehow a computer simulation. After the last time when Salvaje threatened me, I decided I had to find out more about what he was into, Pindar explained. So I did some checking and discovered that he had hired other technicians to help him. I knew one of them slightly, Gerard, a contract worker for the bionational lab in Lima. I took the shuttle to Lima, made it a point to accidentally bump into him, bought him a few drinks, and I learned that Salvaje had worked for Bionational before he started his crusade. He was some kind of low-level administrator. He didn't need the money, he came from a rich family, but obviously he needed something from Bionational. He up and quit one day, but kept in touch with some of the techs. Gerard didn't know why he quit, and he only did some hard wiring for him, set up a small computer system. Salvaje paid well. That was all that was important. Gerard didn't know anything else about it, but that was good enough. I knew Salvaje had his own system. His security was not as good as he thought. I got inside. I ran a download program and copied all his files. Took them home. He would never know I had been there. I found out where his Messiah came from when I ran an AV he had buried in a mathematical program. It was a bad induction copy of a Bionational top-secret AV for internal view only. He must have stolen it or had somebody steal it for him. Whoever had done it screwed it up. They lost part of the visual and all of the audio tracks, so there's no sound. Salvaje's Messiah wasn't a computer image, as I had thought. It was real. There were more images to see. This time the monster was larger, shaped slightly different, with a massive cranial plate that branched antler-like. It had an extra set of smaller arms coming in from its chest area. The creature was huge. There was a scale built into the edge of the hollow. The walls of the room were now covered with convoluted loops of shining black material, and the floor was dotted with garbage can-sized eggs. Dr. Arona studied the footage closely. "My God," he said, "it's a queen." "One that doesn't need to be fertilized, apparently," the agent said. Arona shook his head. This could confirm my theory that a queen can develop from a drone as needed to continue the species. Some kind of hormonal change, perhaps. "We've got to get it, and those eggs. I'll make some calls. We'll seize the Lima laboratory in the interests of Terran security." The agent shook his head. "Too late for that." Arona blinked. "What? What do you mean?" "Watch," the agent said. The security footage of the Bionational complex revealed the details of an attack. Outside the complex, a truck slammed into the gate. From the ruined cab of the vehicle, a single battered woman crawled out, managed to stand. She wore a robe. The security computer locked a wide-angle camera onto her. Her hands were empty, but she had something strapped to her chest. A blocky, circular device about the diameter of a dinner plate. One of the Bionational guards hit the panic button and the alarm klaxon started hooting. The other guard pulled his sidearm and ordered the woman to halt. As the guard raised his weapon to fire, the woman exploded. The image washed to white. "We ID'd the bomb as a 5-ton building demolition charge," Agent Grona said. "It took out the kiosk, the truck, and 26 meters of fence." A patrol robot provided the next segment of the recording. Arona watched, fascinated. The first bus reached the complex's entrance. 10 or 12 robed figures scrambled out and ran for the door. Arona regarded the bearded man, Salvaje. He didn't look like a fanatic, but then, what exactly did a fanatic look like? Was he supposed to be drooling and foaming at the mouth? More robed people arrived. Arona estimated there must be at least 35 or 40 of them who had survived the attack. The image on the security footage cut to the view of a door. "Danger," it said in 10-centimeter high letters. "Biological experiment. Authorized personnel only." A pair of dead guards lay on the floor. 5 robed figures sprawled near the guards inside the chamber. A translucent mist fogged around the ground, partially covering rows of eggs. The queen alien lumbered into view. She stared at the people, twisted her head to one side, then the other, as if puzzled. Salvaje faced her. He said something, but only a few words were audible. "We have come to consummate our love, to purge the vision from our minds, to be one with you." Some of the eggs began opening. The first one to open was in front of Salvaje. He stood with his arms wide, as did the others, but his eyes were open. He leaned down over the egg. The flaps glistened with strands of shining slime. Fingerbone-like legs emerged and caught the edges of the opened egg, hauling the primary embryo stage of the alien's crab-like body onto the lip. It leapt at Salvaje, wrapped a muscular tail around his neck, jammed its ovipositor into his startled mouth and crushed his face with its legs, pressing itself flat against his face. Other eggs splayed wide for their fleshy openings. Other primary embryos leapt upon waiting faces. The queen watched it all impassively. Then, when the humans had been infected, the outermost eggs hatched and depleted of their inhabitants. The remaining robed people darted in and dragged their comrades away, adroitly avoiding, save for one, being attacked by the remaining eggs. The queen did not approve of this, but she was anchored to her huge egg sac and could not move quickly enough to catch the scurrying humans. The security system was overridden at this time, Grona said. We have no more images of the fanatics. 90 seconds later, the security system destroyed itself, along with the entire complex. Blew it to bits. Dr. Arona rose from his seat. No. What about the alien? The eggs? Scattered about the countryside in pieces the size of your little fingernail, Doctor. Arona was stunned by the news. What a waste. He'd sent a ship halfway across the galaxy to obtain such specimens, and if they'd been a few hours quicker, they could have one right here, on Earth. That explained the dreams people had been having. What about the fanatics? Did any of them get away? There were at least a dozen of them infected. The agent sighed. We don't know. Our people have been combing the country looking for them, but there's no sign. The explosion was in half a megaton range. There's no way to tell from the wreckage how many people died in it, whether anybody got away. For a moment, hope flared in Arona's eyes. There might be a chance. We hope none of them did, the agent said. What? Are you crazy? These life forms are priceless. Think about it, Doctor. Arona was a brilliant man. He'd always been at the top of his class. It hit him, what the agent was trying to say. Yes, the aliens were priceless, but under controlled circumstances. Bionational knew that. That's why the complex was rigged to blow up if there came a breach in security. If the aliens somehow escaped, got free of captivity, that could be disastrous. Even a single egg was potentially dangerous, given how quickly they could breed and come to maturity, and given how they can change into queens if there was a need. Arona nodded. Yes, he saw it. A dozen queen aliens hiding out, laying eggs. That could be a problem. That could be a major problem. God help us all. In this series, I'm recounting the Earth War, as depicted in the Aliens comic series and the events leading up to it, as well as its aftermath. The accounts are explored as originally published, despite certain names, locations, and other events have been altered over time. For all other videos on the Earth War, you can check out the Accounts of the Earth War playlist on the end screen, and stay tuned for more in this series. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like. You can also subscribe for all the latest videos from the channel. A very, very special thanks, as always, goes out to weyland-yutani executive, EmYarUk, part of the Patreon Hive. If you'd like to join the Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for exclusive posts and contests. In the meantime, you can catch up with Alien Theory over social media. You can follow @alien_theory on Twitter and @AlienTheoryYT on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.